Hi, welcome to math test number 32a, writing and solving linear equations multi-step. You'll notice these equations have variables on both sides of the equation. So our very first step should be to try to combine like terms by moving the variables to one side of the equation. So we can't just add them up, right? We have to move them just like when we move constants. So I have 4n here and 7n here, so I can add negative 4n to start. Doing that cancels out the 4n's on this side, and then I'll have 7n plus negative 4n, which gives me 3n, and now everything gets dropped down exactly like it is, kind of like a game of Tetris, right? The plus sign comes down right where it is, the 2 comes down right where it is, the equal sign comes down right where it is, and the 17 comes down right where it is. Just leave that big old space there, that's fine. Now you can draw your little scales right there, and we got our old friend, a two-step equation. So I see constant of 2, so I'm going to add negative 2 to both sides. 2's cancel off because they're 0. 3n gets dropped down exactly where it is. Equal sign gets dropped down where it is. 15 plus negative 2, I'm sorry, 17 plus negative 2 is 15. And I see multiplication, so I end up with division. So n is equal to 5. Wherever I see 5 up top, I'm going to put the letter S. So make sure it's 5 and not negative 5. So there is 1 5 right there, and the rest of the 5s that I see are all negative 5. So let's do another one. Letter A. So you'll notice 2y, 8y, negative 3. Good idea to change that to plus negative. So let's move 2y over. So I'll start off with plus negative 2y. Plus negative 2y. 2y's cancel off. 8y plus negative 2y is 6y. Drop everything down, remember the sign. Plus negative 3 equals, drop down 15. We got our friend, the two-step equation. Draw your scales. Everything stays nice and organized. I see plus negative 3, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Negative 3 and 3 cancel off. Drop down 6y. Drop down the equal sign. 15 plus 3 is 18. So I'm going to, I see 6y equals 18, so I divide by 6. And in this case, y is equal to 3. All right, so wherever I see a 3 up top, I'm going to put the letter A. There's 1 3, and there's another 3, and I think one more 3 right there in the bottom. Let's go ahead and do one more on this top row. So remember, x by itself is like a variable 1x. And then that minus sign should be plus negative 23. So right off the bat, I'm going to add negative 1x to both sides. The 1x's cancel off. We get 4x plus 9 equals, remember the sign, negative 23. Right? You don't need to drop down the plus sign. Draw your scales. And now I see plus 9, so I'm going to add negative 9. This is good for us to add negative 9 because now we see that's SSAK. So I'm just going to add those together, keep the sign. Drop down 4x equals negative 32. And then see 4x, so I divide it by 4. X is equal to negative 8. So wherever I see negative 8, I'm going to put the letter G. There's one negative 8. G. There's another negative 8. G. And I believe that's it. Okay. Let's do one more problem together. Let's skip down to the bottom. You'll notice in C, we have 5 parentheses x plus 2, 3 parentheses x plus 8. Because we have these distributive properties on both sides, we can't start by dividing by 3 or dividing by 5. So we actually have to distribute. So on the top here, we have 5x plus 2 is equal to, distribute here. Oh, I messed up. 5x plus 10. Don't forget to multiply that. Plus 3x plus 24. And then we go back to our first step, all right? 3x, 5x. Okay, add negative 3x to both sides. These 3x's cancel off, and you have 2x plus 10, drop down the equal sign, equals 20, 4. You don't need to drop down that plus. Right? Only time you need to drop down is if it's negative. So add negative 10 to both sides. You've got 2x is equal to, these canceled off, 14. And we finish off by dividing by 2. So x is equal to 7. These should feel nice and easy because you have a good foundation of two-step equations. Just don't forget to go up to the top, and wherever you see 7, remember it's positive 7, not negative 7, wherever you see 7, you can put the letter C. So I'm going to see 1, 7 right there. That's it. You're going to do the rest in parts.